Hey, what's up YouTube? It's abluegolfball here today with another Pokemon TCG online video. And usually when a big tournament happens, like regionals or even state championships, but for this one, nationals for sure. We had the World Championships not too long ago, and that is the conclusion, the culmination of the X and Y combo with Black and White era together. We're never going to see those two together in the standard format again. I don't think so. So that is it with Black and White in the standard format. We will be transitioning into X and Y onward, coming in for the 2015-2016 season with expanded format for some of these big tournaments. But I really just want to salute the Black and White era again and again. I mean, you have seen my videos with the top 10s and rankings and stuff like that. But I think the deck that really put the cherry on the top was the deck built by Jacob Van Wagner's, his world-winning deck, the Blastoise, Archie's Blastoise, and Keldeo with Wailord and Mewtwo EX. The biggest takeaway here is these three. Man, Keldeo and Blastoise were awesome. Man, these guys, they ran the show for a number of years, ever since Boundaries Crossed, yeah, this is just great. So, Blastoise here is basically, he's the engine of the deck, for sure. And this deck is really built to get Blastoise out as soon as possible, as soon as turn 1, to get Blastoise out. Archie's ace in a hole, a number of combinations to really just get Blastoise going with Deluge, and it's just it's great, well calculated, well put together, and what better way to salute and see Black and White kind of run off with their, like a cowboy into the sun, into who knows. But yeah, Blastoise will be missed. Deluge is a great ability, and Hydro Pump is kind of perhaps a possible attacker for Sigilyph and Suicune, and even Pyroar for sure. But yeah, Blastoise right here. With Deluge, as often as you like, during your turn before your attack, you may attach a water energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So, this is great. This is just great. I'm just feeling nostalgic even looking at this deck, and I really appreciate this deck winning the World Championships. It was an honor. Again, it's just a great witness to see that. Keldeo is going to be attacking a ton. It's you can say the primary attacker in many ways. He's running 3 of these. Keldeo here has 170 HP. It's a water-type Pokemon. It's got the awesome ability Russian, and Russian is going to be remanifested in Zoroark coming in the next set, I believe. But once you return before your attack, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may switch this Pokemon with your active Pokemon, basically just shoving them out of the way and making Keldeo the new active Pokemon. With Floatstone, it makes it for a very fluid and well-done combo with Russian and Retreat, negating a lot of things like paralysis or poison. And so Secret Sword here does a base damage of 50 and 20 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. All right. Okay, so here's the deal. All right, so we got those 2 guys. 3 Keldeos is really impressive. 1 Mewtwo EX here for X-Ball in case we run into type weaknesses, or X-Ball is just a good attack. And you can power him up, and we're never going to see Side Drive since we don't run any Psychic Energy, but X-Ball can be pretty good. We will have 1 Articuno in here, and if anything, I want to pull off at least 1 Tri-Edge and get 3 prizes. If we can pull this off on an EX, that would be great. I would love to do that. So Articuno here, it's got the Delta trait plus right here. If your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage from a attack from this Pokemon, take 1 extra prize card. So that's basically like a remanifestation of Lugia EX's overflow ability. And you can, perhaps if we need a stall, we can hit for a Chilling Sigh. And again, not Keldeo, Articuno, if you run into Pyroar and Sigilyph and, don't want to use Blastoise and, put 4 energies to do Hydro Pump, you can definitely use Articuno here to try to knock him out. As long as you can flip 2 heads and have a Muscle Band, you can knock out Suicune. But if you're facing against Pyroar, it's going to be Blastoise. Yep, basically. You're going to have to take Pyroar down. If your opponent has 4 Pyroars with Intimidating Mane, Yep, it's Blastoise. All right. Okay, so we have Giratina EX here. Stellar Guidance is going to be great. To be able to Stellar Guidance, get Archie's Ace in Hole, or even Lysander or something else that you really need. That'd be just great. We have 2 Execute here for propagation, making sure the number of cards in your hand work out in your favor, and the math works out very well with Execute always being able to propagate. 2 Shaman EXs with setup. Just, you know, it's going to be a staple, guys. Got to have at least 1 or 2 Shamans, if not sometimes even 4. Who knows? Being able to Sky Return and set up. It's great. I mean, not really Sky Return. No one's going to use Sky Return, but maybe, right? If you need a knockout, a Joltik, or an Execute, go for the Sky Return, guys. Go for it. Go for it. Okay, so we have Whale Lord EX here, 250 HP. That's great. You can use them set up as a wall, buy yourself some turns, and that way you can set up your Blastoise, and, you know, yeah. Maybe you can even hit High Breaching. Who cares? It's huge. This is 250. You got 5 energies. Big whoop. Take them down, guys. You got 120 damage, and, you know, no problem. Unless you face against a Mewtwo with also 5 energies. That's pretty brutal. Okay, that's it for the Pokemon lines. Take a look at the item cards. We have Acrobike, 4 of these. Battle Compressor, 4 of these. 1 Computer Search, 1 of these. Unless you're playing, you know, really old school and you're going back to the original base set, you can have 4 of these. Okay, Superior Energy Retrieval, we'll be playing 4 of those. 4 Trainer's Mail, 4 Ultra Balls, 4 VS Seekers. You got a theme right here. It's 4 besides this guy. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And then we have Archie's Ace in a Hole, 2 of these. Gotta have them. Gotta have this really consistently. 2 of them makes for a very high probability of being able to find Archie's Ace in a Hole, and it gives you a better likelihood of not having both Archies, or just, you know, if you're running 1, you gotta have a higher chance of having that prized. And so we have 1 Lysander here, 1 N, and I believe only 2 Junipers. And here it is, just 2 Rough Seas, and then we got the Floatstone, only 1 Floatstone, and Muscle Band here, only 1 of these, could work very well for Secret Sword, and the math can work out well for Mewtwo EX, things like that. And then 11 Water Energies. Gotta have a lot of these, because you're gonna be deluging a bunch. And so yeah, that's it for the deck. Let's go ahead and see this deck in action here on Pokemon TCG Online. Alright, looks like we'll be playing against Breaker Mold, and we will get an opportunity to go first. That is awesome. We start off with Blastoise, Articuno. Okay, all right. I mean, okay, yeah, I can't really work with this. I mean, you know, we're gonna play the Articuno, of course, and that's probably, I don't know. We're going first. You know, there's no energies in the discard pile. Okay, all right, we got something to work with here. We got the Ultra Ball, so we may be able to pull this off. Just maybe. Alright, so what we're going to do, we can play the Rough Seas, discard both energies, or no, 1 energy, and, yeah, let's see here. Discard an energy for sure, and then the Blastoise, and then we'll play the Energy Retrieval to discard an energy, and the Rough Seas to get the energy back to play the energy onto the Articuno, and then play the Archies. So right now, let's go ahead and we'll search for maybe, I don't know. Yeah, so that's going to be our plan. Let's go ahead. We'll get, yeah, we could go with the Execute. That way we can spare the energy. But, or I mean, the stadium, that we don't have to discard the stadium. So here's our plan. There we go. Let's go for this. Play the energy there. Play the Archies. Look at that. Turn 1 Blastoise. Amazing. And here's the Keldeo. And all right, that's it. We'll end the turn. We'll hang on to the energies because, yeah, I could have played them right now, but you know, we'll hang on to them. It's not necessary. Plus, if we play them, we're just down to two cards in our hand, and that doesn't look like the best scenario either. So yeah. So right now we have 2 Battle Compressors, which we can still play. While my opponent is playing a Hydreigon Giratina deck. Oh, that's a deck that I want to play. I definitely want to showcase that on my channel. And we see my opponent actually has the Hoopa sleeves from the Elite Trainer box. That's pretty cool too. So here is the Trainer's Mail. My opponent, again, has 4 cards, same as us. Trainer's Mail can search for the top 4 cards of his deck and choose a trainer card you see out of there besides Trainer's Mail. And looks like my opponent chose to play an Ultra Ball. We see a Shaman EX hit the field and was able to help my opponent draw into 2 more cards. Again, we still have that Ultra Ball in my opponent's hand. And the question is, does my opponent have that Forest of Giant Plants or Giant Forest Plant, whatever, I don't remember the name. If my opponent has that, he can counter my Stadium. And that way you can evolve right away and into the Vileplume with the irritating pollen. And that would actually nullify our battle compressors, and then that would make me really regret not playing those battle compressors. Because I'm already starting to regret not playing those battle compressors. My opponent opts to play the Ultra Ball 4 in Unknown. We see Professor Birch's observation even flips heads right there. That is great. Being able to flip heads off of Professor Birch's observation early in the game is always very valuable. Of course, it's valuable in every situation in the game, but to get really lucky and flip that right away, early in the game is really nice. And so here is the Unknown, and there is the Forest of Giant Plants. That's what it's called, Forest of Giant Plants. Gotta remember that, forest comes first. And I keep thinking giant forest plants, whatever. But, oh, wow, we get a Juniper. Oh, man, this can't get any better than this. So we got battle compressors. We can actually probably battle compress some more water energies, perhaps. I don't know. So we need to find a way to deal with this. Here's the thing. I actually want... So the thing is, the Hydreigon, I'm going to take a risk. The Hydreigon is a 3 retreat cost. My opponent needs a second Hydreigon to retreat that one for free. So we're going to calculate it out here. With Keldeo, we should be able to... let's go ahead. We'll discard the Archie and the Execute and another Blastoise. Don't need to see those guys anymore. And then we can use the Battle Compressor and get rid of some more... energies that way. We don't need to see that battle compressor either. So the plan here is we want to hit that Hydreigon EX for just 170. All right, that's the plan, and then we can retreat into the Articuno and finish him off for take 3 prizes. Because I'm taking my chances. Someone offered me a trade. Okay, so here let's just propagate again. So that's gonna be the plan. We're gonna attempt to just hit him for 170. So Keldeo's base is 50 plus 3 would be 110, and that means we only need 3 more energies on top of that. 2 more energies. Yeah, 2 more energies. 110. 2 more energies. That'll be not enough. So that'll be 3 more. And we need 6 energies to hit for 170. And all right, so we got we can battle compress, get rid of that Giratina. No need to see that anymore. And all right, so let's take a look here. We do have a muscle band, so that means we can put it down. We can play. Let's see here. Yeah, 6 energies. Let's see. Yeah, that would hit for 170. So that should do. We don't need to play the muscle band. I mean, yeah, we can play the muscle band, but all right. So Secret Sword. So the math needs to work here. My opponent is getting sleepy because we're trying to calculate here. I don't know. This is kind of a huge risk. So yeah. All right. So let's go ahead. We'll Deluge. We could play this one for the knockout, but I actually want to play it for that Articuno instead. We can actually play the Ultra Ball and get a Shaman EX out here. And that way draw into some more cards too. So let's go ahead. We're gonna do that. Let's go ahead and play the Shaman and draw into 4 more cards. And yeah, we can play again. It's really tempting, but we'll hit for 170. And so right there, we're gonna take that risk. All right. So do we see this is, yeah, okay, right there. Another Giratina. My opponent needs to play either a Floatstone or an Energy to retreat that Hydreigon. And so that was kind of, it's kind of like, I just wanted to mess around. I really want to get Articuno to take 3 prizes with Tri-Edge. That's really the goal here. I mean, because the thing is, he's at 10, so even flip 3 tails, we will get 3 prizes as long as that Hydreigon stays in play. Now, one problem here is I should have battle compressed at the Lysander, and that way we can use VS Seeker for Lysander in case that Hydreigon does retreat. Because there's nothing on my opponent's side of the field that can knock out the Keldeo. Nothing. So that's already something that I already kind of accounted for, and I already kind of assumed we're not going to see a Mewtwo. Well, we could see a Mewtwo, but like really, we're going to see Giratinas and we're going to see Hydreigons. That's what we're going to see, and we're going to see Vileplume as well. So, and then the Shamans. Yeah, there's already 2 Shamans there. Unless my opponent plays Sky Field, we're not going to see a Mewtwo hit the field and hit us with an X-Ball. And so that's what do we have? 5 energies. X-Ball would be doing 140 unless my opponent had a Muscle Band. But we see the Double Dragon Energy being tagged on to the Giratina, and that's it. So this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted to see. All we need now is a Floatstone, and we got the Floatstone. I can't believe we got the Floatstone. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to rush in and retreat. We can play the the energy onto the Articuno, and we're going to take 3 prizes right here. Again, I can play the supporters right now, but, you know, why not? I can just hang on to them. So, hey, we got 1 heads. Doesn't really matter. It didn't matter if we had any, but look at that. We take 3 prizes here, and, oh, man, you know, I should have played some tool cards, or item cards, because my opponent can get the Vileplume out, and that would be pretty devastating. But either way, even if my opponent got the Vileplume out, I have a Keldeo on the bench ready to rush in and knock out that Giratina in 1 shot, because we're going to be hitting for 170, and that's going to put a ton of pressure on my opponent. Chaos Wheel can't even knock out this Articuno unless we see a Muscle Band. And even if my opponent knocked out the Articuno, we can respond very easily. Now, we see my opponent does not play a DCE or a Double Dragon Energy. That's going to take 3 turns to power up that Giratina, and we even get a Rough Sieves to counter the Stadium. Not that it really matters. My opponent can evolve in the Vileplume right now anyways. But we do have an N on our own, and we do have another Keldeo. But looks like all our item cards are going to be gone. So as soon as that Vileplume hits the field, we will have to deal with that. Otherwise, right now, I think the Articuno should survive. Oh, no, we see a computer search. Here comes the Muscle Band, or either that or it's going to be a Vileplume. And if we see the Vileplume, then we will still survive the turn. We can play the Rough Seas, heal some damage off of the Articuno, and oh, there it is. There is the Vileplume. We were waiting for that Vileplume, and we get hit for 100. We survive the turn. Here comes the Keldeo. Can't play the Rough Seas because of the attack, and doesn't matter. We're just going to go ahead and... oh my goodness, we get via Seekers galore. It wouldn't really matter. Okay, so my opponent's down to just a Giratina with 1 energy. Can't attack right now unless he plays Ether. We have a Lysander, which we can bring out. It doesn't matter. We can knock out everything right now unless my opponent plays Crushing Hammer, but my opponent won't be able to play Crushing Hammer because Vileplume, unless my opponent plays AZ and then Crushing Hammers, that would be pretty devastating. We can still rush in and retreat and attack with the Articuno that only has 10 HP or 20 HP left, but, you know, that's not really ideal either. But here is a Sycamore, so we won't see any item cards from my opponent either. We didn't see the AZ. AZ is not going to pick up Vileplume, and we won't see Ether. We won't see DCE drop, and thank goodness. All right, so... could still see a Double Dragon Energy, but that's not going to do any good because my opponent, can't attack. Even with, we see an Unknown hit the field over there, and also a full art Giratina EX, which is pretty cool. But, you know, the problem with Giratina is just, you got to really, it's got to be nonstop. You got to have to play energies every turn. You got to have to... have the DCEs and Double Dragon Energies every turn, like be able to drop those, get that powered up in 2 turns. And so when you play a basic energy, you got to play those like, you know, mathematically, like, I don't know, it's tough because, you know, if you're playing with the basic energies, it's gonna take you 3 turns to set up, you know. That's just rough, man. And there it is. My opponent concedes the match, and that's it. My opponent, I mean, I understand. It's very noble of him to, you know, stay in play up until the very last card, and so I do appreciate that sportsmanship. And there it is. My opponent's taking 6 minutes 22 seconds. We, on the other hand, only took 3 minutes and 44. So I don't know. We should be sleeping too. And that's about it. Giratina, EX, yep, and Keldeo. So here we go. We're going to play against Whiplash Shore. And heads right here. And shucks, we will be going second. All right, Whiplash Shore. That's an interesting name. We're going to start off with the Keldeo. So the challenge for us right here, we are going second. That means we have an opportunity to attack first. If we can get this Keldeo powered up in turn 1, that would be ridiculous. And we're playing against a Lucario as well as a Machop over there on the field in the bench on my opponent's side. And that means, oh my goodness, that's it. My opponent passes the turn. We have a Juniper here. That's not really ideal. I do want it to discard that Juniper. We do get the Ultra Ball. I'm definitely taking the Ultra Ball. What we want to do is probably play the Battle Compressor. I do want to Ultra Ball away perhaps the Blastoise and the Juniper. Let's go ahead and Battle Compress. We need an energy there. That way we can use the Superior Energy Retrieval and get those energies back, or just 1 energy. So let's go ahead. We're going to get the Execute as well, and then the Archie's Ace in the Hole would be the right choice right here. That way we can use Via Seeker to get the Archie's Ace in the Hole back into our hand. And let's do that right away. That way we can kind of have that set up for us. And so we can go ahead and play the the superior energy retrieval. Just get that one energy, play that energy on the Keldeo, and or discard it. We could go ahead and get the execute, and we can just discard the energy or the rough seas. You know, I might as well. We'll discard the rough seas, I think. No need to have it right now. Let's go ahead and play another Keldeo, perhaps, or even the Whale Lord. That'd be pretty funny. Could go for Shaman, you know, and draw more cards, but I don't want to take the risk right there. Let's just do what we know that works best, and let's get the turn 1 Blastoise right here. We need to get the Trainer's Mail. Let's go for the Rough Seas or the Acrobike. Either one's okay. Let's go for the Acrobike and dig into our deck a little bit more, and we get a Rough Seas again anyways. Oh, man. So right here, we can go ahead. We're going to Deluge onto the Keldeo. The Keldeo is powered up and ready to go. Let's go ahead. We're just getting rid of the Jirachi. No need to see the Jirachi. We're going to get the Shaman, draw into some more cards right here. We can even play the Rough Seas and draw into a perfect hand size with a fresh hand size of 6. Oh my goodness. We get the superior energy retrieval. We can get the Deluge right here. We're going to knock out this Lucario. You know, we could see a Mewtwo EX, but I don't really care at this point, man. Here is a Battle Compressor. We can Battle Compress more energies, and we can superior energy retrieval all those energies, and we can hit for 190 and knock out this Lucario EX in one shot. Turn 1 knockout right here. That's just brutal, man. That is vicious. And let's just go ahead and get all 4 energies. We have a Trainer's Mail that we can get some more, perhaps find something off the top 4 cards. And so here it is. We'll just Deluge everything. Who cares? We could see a Mewtwo, but it's okay. Let's go ahead. Secret Sword, hit for 190, and there we go. We got another Blastoise. That's no use. But the thing is, we don't really have too much of fear for a Mewtwo EX because my opponent's gonna promote the Machop. Machop's got 2 retreat costs unless my opponent has a Full Stone or plays a Switch, which can still happen. My opponent has a pretty good hand size. You know, I just don't see that happening. Here is a Machoke. We could see that Machoke retreat because otherwise that Machoke's gonna get knocked. Oh no, we see a Karina. We could still see a Mewtwo EX with the DCE. That would be amazing, but no, we see a Lucario. Do we have a Switch? That's the question here. And even if we do, we can try to power up this Keldeo here on the bench. We got a ton of energy on our Keldeo in the active spot. We see my opponent use the Karina for the Professor's Letter, but getting 2 more basic fighting energies into his hand. And yeah, my opponent right now at a hand size of 6. We know 2 of them are energies, and yeah, we don't know what the other 4 are. Could still see a Switch. We could still get hit for 30, and that's it. My opponent passes the turn. We do have a Full Stone right here, and oh wow, we get level. We're gonna take the Ultra Ball over the Juniper, and no need for another Archie's Ace in a hole. Let's go ahead. We'll take the Juniper right here, and here is the Keldeo with the Russian and Retreat. Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll just have a backup attacker in this Keldeo. That way we have some energies invested over here. We could actually just go for another, you know, yeah, let's just, I don't know. Let's go for let's just go for the Lysander, and we'll just take out the immediate threat. You know, this is probably not the best route, but, you know, that's what we're going to go with. And, yeah, just taking out the threat right now, because that Lucario getting powered up could be pretty threatening, and here it is. My opponent just brings out we got him on Champ right here, and I got to deal with that, but hey, that's going to be a one-hit knockout. Anyways, we got an energy we can play on the Keldeo. Oh, a strong energy. Okay, here is a Professor Birch's Observation hitting heads, and we can still see a Switch, and, you know, my opponent played the energy for the turn, so I don't expect Mewtwo hitting us for a knockout right now, and I don't think my opponent even plays Mewtwo anyways. We see my opponent here playing a Diglett over there. We can see a Doug Trio, and that could probably knock out the Jirachi or something like that if I put on Lysander the Jirachi. With the Doug Trio, with a strong energy, Fighting Stadium, that would could probably knock out the Shaman too, but I think we have the resistance, so that could work out for our favor. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, I don't know. Whoa, we got the Whale Lord here. Oh my goodness, we want to play Whale Lord. Ooh, we got a superior energy retrieval. We have Via Seeker. Yeah, we could probably just go for, I don't know. If we can go for Juniper. I mean, there's no energies in the discard pile, so no need for that superior energy retrieval. Let's just go ahead and play for the Juniper, perhaps. If we had more bench space, we could actually play the Archie's Ace in a Hole again. That'd be pretty funny. And that's it. This is Secret Sword. We're hanging on to the Juniper. And, oh, we get our Mewtwo EX. That's kind of fun. So, again, we can see something happen here. We could see a Rare Candy to Machamp on the bench. That could help my opponent out too, I guess. But looks like, you know, we got this wrapped up in the bag. I mean, Pretty much. Here is a energy drop on the Diglett. Do we see that Diglett evolve into the Dugtrio? We see a Muscle Band, and right now the Diglett can hit for with a I don't know, Fighting Stadium Muscle Band energy. Oh, Lysander. Oh, okay. All right. So here comes the Jirachi. Do we see that Dugtrio? And the Dugtrio will knock out the Jirachi, and unless we see a Mud Slap, my opponent can play Ether and get a Mud Slap. That wouldn't knock out. That would not knock out. But it looks like my opponent's gonna go for the Dugtrio right here with the Ultra Ball, and I don't know. Yeah. I mean, Dugtrio. I've heard decks built around Dugtrio with the evolutions. Since Dugtrio is a stage 1 and hitting for 60 Earthquake is pretty impressive. As long as you're playing, what is that? That Mountain Ring Stadium, you can protect yourself from getting hurt. Your bench Pokemon. So. I don't know. Not that we're going to see any evolutions on my opponent's side of the field anyways. We do get hit for 100, and there's 10 and 10 to the Machop and the Lunar. I don't know what that guy's name is, but all right, that's it. We'll just bring out the Keldeo, hit for 90 damage, and call it a day. Here it is, Secret Sword. 190, there it is, and the victory is ours. And I don't know. Should we play another one? The first match was pretty interesting. We saw that did we even see? I thought we saw the Vileplume play, and that was about it. But yeah, here it was just pure utter dominance. I know you guys are always asking to have some very competitive matches, but all right. So, anyways, yeah, okay, fine. We're gonna play another match here and see how that goes. All right. So here we go. Alright, and we're going to be playing against Snorb something Hun. So we will have the opportunity to flip first, and no, we will end up flipping tails, even though we chose heads. And we're going to start off with a Mewtwo EX, which isn't terrible. We do have a Archie's Ace in the Hole right here, and we have a Floatstone. Not looking the best. I think ideally what we're going to do is probably play the Jirachi for a Juniper, and perhaps just discard everything. Of course, we'll play the Floatstone, and we'll play the Battle Compressor as well. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're not going to be having the best of starts. My opponent right now has a Mew EX here, which can knock out the Mewtwo EX with the weakness, assuming my opponent can power up the Mew somehow in turn 2, by turn 2, because he can't attack his first turn. So, a couple things we can do here to try to avoid some things. We could retreat into the Jirachi. The Jirachi does have Psychic Resistance, which is kind of silly. Wow, we even see a Life Dew on this Mew EX. Alright, so again, right now Archie's Ace in the Hole isn't too appealing. One way we can pull this off is if we can top deck a Ultra Ball, in Ultra Ball. So if we do that, for sure we can play an Energy on the Mewtwo, we can play the Jirachi and not get a supporter, play the Battle Compressor, get rid of the Blastoise, play the Floatstone on the Mewtwo if need be, and then play the Archie's Ace in Hole for the Blastoise. That would be great. That is assuming we can get the Ultra Ball. Now, if we do get the Ultra Ball, we can probably just discard an Energy and the Jirachi, and then play the Floatstone onto the Mewtwo, and play the Battle Compressor for the Blastoise, and maybe a couple other Energies or something like that. Assuming we can get it. And so we play, I think, what is it, 3 of them or 4 of them, and then, Computer Search as well. So, I mean, we have a good chance of getting something to discard some things. So we see here, we got the Trainer's Mail, my opponent playing Ultra Ball, a variety of different things, even with a Professor Sycamore discarding stuff. We see a Muscle Band left and right, only one Lampent in the discard pile. We also see Ultra Ball discarding Joltik and Pumpkaboo here as well. Here comes another Lampent, probably will get discarded by using either another Ultra Ball or something else. And that's it, my opponent passes the turn, and we get a Juniper. Oh man, that's not what we want, but we'll probably just play it to discard everything. So what we're going to do, we'll get rid of the Execute, and looks to me like we got the Blastoise right here, and yeah, that's about it. See, I don't exactly want to play a, we could probably just go for the Energy. Yeah, the other Execute is in our prizes as well as the other Blastoise, so this looks like this is going to be it. So let's just go ahead and yeah, we'll play the Floatstone here just in case, and then let's go for the Juniper. We have the Keldeo now, and okay, so we can actually play this. Tread very carefully here. Alright, so we got a Trainer's Mail. I actually don't want the Superior Energy Retrieval. We'll go with the Trainer's Mail. And yes, we got an Ultra Ball. Alright, so we got a great shot at playing the Archie's Ace in the Hole in the next turn, since we played Juniper this turn. Yeah, I don't know. This is not looking the best. Well, let's just go with an Acrobike. We got a VS Seeker. Okay, I guess. Yeah. Okay, we'll just rush in with the Keldeo, and we'll play an energy on the Mewtwo, and that's it. Oh my goodness, this is awful. Alright, so I know we could have done a couple different things, but we really had a Juniper. I really didn't see any way out of that, and we could have kept the Superior Energy Retrieval. We could have got these energies back, but I didn't want to do that, because then we'll have 3 energies, and there's like no way to get rid of them. So here we go. We see the Lampent hit the discard pile with that Ultra Ball. Now my opponent will probably knock out this Keldeo, being able to power up and get enough Pokemon in the discard pile to do that Night March attack. Even with the Sycamore, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pokemon in the discard pile. So this versatile to copy the Night March can hit for a lot. Now, again, my opponent can, with the DCE, can copy this Night March, but if we were to get rid of the Joltik, my opponent would need a Dimension Valley to copy this Night March here, so that Night March attack. Now, you know, with the Life 2 here, that's going to be pretty annoying. We're only taking 1 prize for that Mew EX, and basically we're taking 1 prize for everything at this point, unless my opponent brings out another Mew EX here, and then we can Lysandre that out or something like that, but... yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is not looking the best. We have everything set up in the discard pile. We have an Archie right here ready to go. I'll probably use the Ultra Ball, discard these 2, and then just play the Rough Seas. Depending on what we top deck, though. We got to wait and see what do we top deck, and based on that, we can see if we can work our way around. But, I don't know. Everything right now is, yeah, it's questionable in terms of how... effective we can do this. Now, again, we had to play the Floatstone on the Mewtwo EX because, you know, again, we had that Juniper, and we were just going to discard it anyways. Otherwise, I would preferably like to have it on the Keldeo. That way we can rush in and retreat, have our deck be a little bit more flexible, but that's the way it was. If only we started off with Keldeo, then we'll never had to rush in like that. So here is the 100 damage, and... alright, so let's just go ahead. We will use the ability, or we'll just activate the Stadium and heal 30 damage. Alright, so here, yeah, it looks like we could probably just discard the Archie's Ace in a Hole, but to make this a little bit more effective, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this route right here. So here we go. Let's go ahead and, you know, I think what I want is I want a fresh Keldeo, because we're going to get the Blastoise right here. Alright, so let's go ahead. We will use the ability again, Propagate, and let's get another Pokemon here. Perhaps the Articuno, that would be really nice. And that way we just thin out our own deck a little bit more as well. And then here's the Archie's Ace in a Hole. We got one last spot right there for the Shaman EX, and that is perfect. Alright, so we can actually knock out this... we can knock out this Mew EX with our Mewtwo, so I'm just going to go ahead. We're going to do that right there. We'll just play that right here. I might as well just play this right there as well. And let's see, you know, we could thin out our hand a little bit more, and you know, I think that's what we're gonna do. All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna thin out our hand just a little bit and search for nothing, because we're gonna leave this last spot right here for the Shaman. And so let's take a look at our cards real quick. Do we have a Superior Energy Retrieval? We got 1 right there, which is 2 right there. So we got 2 right there. We have a good shot at getting a Superior Energy Retrieval, and we did. We got it. So. Alright, so let's go ahead. We will just Deluge and put these on this Keldeo. We'll have this Keldeo rush in. We have a backup attacker in Mewtwo right here. So let's go ahead. We will just go and Propagate, and probably don't need that Battle Compressor. Yeah, and we'll just go ahead and get these energies right here. And alright, we'll just go ahead and power up this guy right here. We have a Trainer's Mail. I'm going to save that for the next turn. Let's just go ahead and rush in. And let's go for the Secret Sword, knocking out this Mew EX, taking only 1 prize. And here's the other Blastoise right here. Again, we have this Mewtwo EX ready to go. My opponent with the Pumpkaboo can take advantage and knock out this Mewtwo EX because of the weakness. But I'll take my chances there. Again, we can power up this Mewtwo EX pretty quickly. And we can actually knock out this Joltik with our Shaman EX to hit for a Sky Return if we really need to. We do have a... oh no, my opponent brings out the Mewtwo EX. No problem, that's okay. My opponent will knock him out. No big deal. Hitting for 240 damage, taking 2 prizes right there. We will knock out this Pumpkaboo right back. And yeah, it looks like we're just going to be going for a prize exchange right here. Let's go ahead and we'll activate the stadium, heal a little bit more. I got 3 energies here. I don't know exactly how I feel about that. We do have a VS Seeker, which we can play for again. Can potentially play for a Juniper if we really needed to, but for right now, I mean, I don't know. All right, let's just go for it. You know, I'm actually going to play it onto the Articuno. I think the Articuno has a good shot at taking 2 prizes here. So we're going to go with this, and might as well. We're going to just play the Juniper here, and we're down to 8 cards. We have a Whale Lord here to take some hits for us. And we could retreat here, but yeah, you know, I'm just going to knock out this guy. Let's just go for the Secret Sword and take out this Pumpkaboo. Now, the Joltik can come out and potentially knock out this this Keldeo. 1, 2 Night Marchers right here. 3, 4, 5, 6 Night Marchers. My opponent can still hit us for weakness against this Shaman right here. If my opponent can hit us with a Night March from the Joltik, we see the Pumpkaboo get powered up. We got to see a Dimension Valley from my opponent. We see a Battle Compressor. Again, my opponent can still power him up if he plays something like Ether, but that doesn't happen in a Night March deck. And we are tied in prizes right now. So, yeah, with only 3 cards, like, what are the chances that my opponent has the stadium? Very high, actually. We see 1, well, actually not that high. 1, 2. Okay, so we only see 2 Dimension Valleys in the discard pile. So, you know, my opponent likely plays 4. And unless both of them are prized in here, we see a VS Seeker. So a very high probability here. My opponent's going to play for a Sycamore or an N. Wow, choosing to N us. And we actually get N into a fabulous hand. We get a superior energy retrieval. 1, 2. Only 2 energies in the discard pile from that Mewtwo. But if my opponent's able to knock out this Keldeo, we can power up this Keldeo in a cinch. And we have an Articuno here able to get us 2 prizes if we can flip 2 heads out of this Tri-Edge right here. But ideally, if we can play the Joltik. Oh, wow, my opponent, that was it. That was it, my friends. And, you know, I'm going to play these Trainer's Mail, see what we can do with this. We have a Lysander right here, which we can play. But, you know, I'm going to just get rid of this Pumpkaboo. And, yeah, let's just go ahead and knock out this Pumpkaboo here. Taking only 1 prize. Again, I could have taken the Mew, but the Pumpkaboo is the one with the most threat because of the DCE right here. All my opponent needed was another energy. And here it is. My opponent plays an N. That's why I didn't want to play the, you know, my other cards. Just might as well just hang on to it. Again, my opponent can always play N. So here, we got to wait and see. Does my opponent have Dimension Valley and a basic energy or even a DCE? We've already seen 3 DCEs in the discard pile, as well as 3 energies. 1 energy is on this Joltik, and the other energies in the prizes. 2 Night Marchers are also in the prizes. That's already, oh my goodness, that's 40 damage right there, potential damage that my opponent is missing from the discard pile. And you see here, my opponent is going to deck himself out, or not, actually. He already played the supporter for the turn. Yeah, might as well just activate the stadium. I'm very tempted to retreat right now, but we're just going to go ahead and Secret Sword, and that's it, man. This is, I'm telling you guys, I just can't, we're playing this deck here, and it's just so powerful and so, you know, well set up all the time. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I know you guys want to see some very competitive decks, but like I gotta say, the Night March deck is actually a pretty competitive deck. We saw Night March have some pretty good success, and even in Worlds, and so yeah, I mean we just kind of, my opponent had a pretty good start, and we were able to respond, being able to get Blastoise out right at like turn 2. Blastoise, it's almost as good as, you know, back in the day, they, you know, the Rare Candy turn 2 Blastoise that way too, but. Alright, so, I don't know, I played 3 matches for you guys. Maybe that'll be it for today. And, I know a lot of you guys want to see, some very competitive and compelling matches, but, this is the way it was even in the finals, in Worlds Finals. We saw this deck, Jacob Van Wagner's, Whale Lord, Blastoise Keldeo deck, just, overwhelm and overpower that Seismitoad deck, that, you know, so, I mean... Yeah, definitely, you know, this is great, a way to close out the black and white era, and, you know, the chapter comes to a close. This was a great journey, and, man, it's great to see this deck succeed. Blastoise was such a great card ever since it came out in Bonji's Cross, as well as Keldeo, and to see Mewtwo in this deck, too. It was an honor to witness this deck and see this chapter close in this era. And so I think everyone here is with me when we said, yeah, we were rooting for, or a good majority of us were rooting against the Seismitoad. But you know, so yeah, as the journey comes to a close for Black and White, we look forward to X and Y, and this is a great deck. I just had to showcase this, at least this deck, just because of its sheer memories with the peak of the Black and White era with Boundaries Crossed and through the Plasma Blast and stuff like that. I know I've seen you guys joke that joke. Plasma Blast. Plasma Blast. There you go. All right. Okay, so you guys all take care. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.